AM Caffeine Morning Show going down this Friday. Special guest Jerome Benton in the house from the time. Mara. Really?
You know we're on a budget.
Tune in, AM Caffeine Morning Show.
Get your morning started the right way with the AM Caffeine Morning Show.
It's so fly to have this person rocking with us today. You know, as a freshman in high school, I had a friend, Aaron Gayton, who introduced me to this band. I don't want to say group, band, because they all played instruments. And I got familiar with this group, The Time. And following their journey, you know, you start to pick out who like your favorite members of the group is. Mm-hmm. Of course, he had Morris Day, the lead singer, right? But right next to Morris, dog, right next to Morris, not no second fiddle dude neither. He was just equally as important as Morris Day. No doubt. When you saw Jerome on the damn stage, you looked at him just as much as you looked at Morris Day. And I don't want to say he was a second fiddle because I don't look at him like that. He was equally as important. Man, mother effing Jerome Benton's in the house today, dog. Did you hear what I said? I said Jerome Benton from the time is in the damn building today, dude. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
When we're talking about hype man or supporting actor on stage, my top three. I think Bobby Bird, and this is not in order, but Bobby Bird that rock with James Brown.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Extremely important to James Brown's live presentation. Flavor Flav, I got to give it up to Flavor Flav, because Flavor Flav is,
yeah, boy.
When you see Public Enemy and Chuck D's not there, yeah, boy. When he's not there, you miss Flavor Flav. When you see The Time and Jerome ain't there, I have a damn issue, dog. Just saw The Time perform not too long ago, or they changed the name, whatever the hell, and they had this broke ass Jerome. I almost slapped the hell out of my mama when I seen this. Who the hell? That ain't Jerome. Jerome and how?
I think you mentioned that to me too.
Jerome Benton is in the building. Jay, what's up, dog?
What's up, Doc?
You see how hype I am today, dude. You see the excitement.
Y'all got a mic stand or something in here? Because I got to prop my head up because you just swole it.
I swallowed it. I mean, I did not say anything that wasn't real.
Thanks,
now, here's what's so crazy.
Thanks, Doc.
I met Jerome years ago at a celebrity basketball game. I don't know why I was there because I ain't no celeb.
But we talked because we both dark skinned.
Yeah, there it is.
That's what it is.
We had to keep the tours going because that was before Amistad wasn't out yet. So it was just me and Jerome, and I think Wesley Snipes.
And then Omar joined the team like last
week. And then Omar Dorsey came a part of the
We was plotting to take over.
I see where Doc is going with
the Dark Skin Coalition was in the building.
Hutch.
Right. Hutch from my brother, Dark Skin Takeover. Mm-hmm. So Jerome and I sat on the bench. We weren't playing.
Hey.
It was a timeout, Jay. It was a timeout. It wasn't because we weren't skillful. And Jerome and I had just a real cool conversation, and there was a picture that someone took of me and Jerome talking. And fast forward to the latter part of last year, I saw Jerome at this private dinner at the NAMM convention that Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis was hosting. And as I was going into the elevator, so was Jerome. So I say, Jerome, what's up, man? And I think I've seen him through the years, but you know how you see somebody and you don't necessarily know their name, but you know their face?
Right.
I think that's how it was with Jerome. But every time I've seen him, he has been the same person, like I've known him forever. Extremely, extremely cool. So we talked in the elevator, and I said, Jay, I have a picture of you and I sent it to him.
You should have scared me. I was young and tender.
Right.
Young and tender.
I sent it to him, and through a mutual friend, his cousin, a friend of mine, shout out to Anthony Hall, Chicago, real good friend of mine. I was talking to him the other day, and I was like, dude, I want to get Jerome, I want to interview Jerome on my show. And he said, I'm talking to him on the other line right now. we're going to call you.
And can I cut in there
Please
too?
do.
And you had text me, and I hadn't locked your name in.
So he didn't know who the hell I was.
I was like,
Stalker.
man, some dude named Doc. Doc texted me, man, and was talking about coming. He said, he just texted me. He just called me. I said, oh, good.
How crazy is that?
I said he wanted me to do an interview. I was like, nah, man, you know me, man. I got to stay over here in the hills.
Right.
He said, man, you need to go talk with Doc. You need to go do Doc a favor.
Man, there
I
it
said,
is.
I ain't going to do no favor. I just do it because I know who he is now.
Right.
Because when I pulled it up, I started doing information in my phone.
To see who's who.
And
Right.
our black and white picture of us
There it is.
taking time out.
Right.
On the bench.
Exactly. We were the
Popped up
stars
in
of the
my
team.
phone.
Right. Exactly.
Because, we was high scoring that game.
You already know. I think you had 30. I had like 18 or something like that.
What, 35?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jerome was rocking with us for this whole hour, and when I tell you I'm going to get into the history and his mindset of being part of such an influential group in music, and then kind of finding out exactly, how it was to rock on stage with such big personalities and be in movies, and then, what happened? I know there's always like a lot of questions of, we're seeing them, but now we're not seeing you. We kind of want to get into that and find out all this from the horse's mouth. My man Jerome is rocking with us, man. It's such a pleasure. I'm glad you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
You know the song. Sing along. Yeah, you're right. I think you're wrong in the house. I think you're wrong in the house. In your mouth.
Without a doubt.
We had to, without a doubt. AM Caffeine Morning Show's in the building. My man Jerome Benton is in the house, and special day around here, man, this Friday. So, Jay, let's get right into it, man.
We in it.
Can you tell me, let's go back to the origin.
Okay.
The time.
The time.
When the time is first put together, are you a part of that from day one?
Indirectly, I was. Of course, a lot of people know me and Terry are brothers. Mm-hmm. None of the half-brother stuff. We are brothers.
You're brothers, right, right.
Terry watched over me as an older brother would, but there was a uniqueness in our relationship. I followed him around all the time. I grew up kind of fast with Terry.
Right.
Because Terry was fast.
Right.
Fast on the track, too.
Right.
He still holds the track records in Minnesota.
Okay.
Wow.
And 100, 220, one of the top quarterbacks in the country for his.
Well, let me find out.
Oh, yeah, you can look it up.
Okay,
Yeah.
T.
I had a knee injury.
Right.
And, he started concentrating on his music. But anyways, hanging out with Terry, I was at all the after-hour parties that they were doing. Mm-hmm. He was an entrepreneur. He was doing gigs where bands would come to a hotel ballroom and have a battle of the bands, and he would, put the winnings together and pick the winners,
right,
and do those things. And I was there.
Okay.
And then we would leave from there. We'd go do after-hour parties with the live band.
Uh-huh.
We had Jelly Bean, Monty, Jimmy Jam, a guy named David Island. Alexander sung in our group. Greg Robinson, the only brother on Baywatch, was in the group.
Wow. And
Cynthia
so these
Johnson.
were all cats that were your musicians that were all from Minnesota.
Yeah, that would come in and sit in at times with the band.
Okay.
The established band that was named Flight Time.
Right.
I would take the money. I would run the sound. I would drive the bus. I would move the equipment.
You was Jamaican. You was doing everything.
I was Jamaican at 17 years old.
Bumble
hanging out there, doing my thing.
Yes, mine.
The situation happened where Prince came to Terry, and they orchestrated putting a group together for Morris for the time. And he has.
So when you guys were doing these shows, moving around, was Morris part of that? When you guys were doing after hours and moving around from club to
Morris
club.
was doing his own thing with
Morris
Prince.
was doing his own.
He was independent. They
got you.
They did their little thing, and they needed a really, really funky group.
Right.
A real disciplined group.
Oh, got you.
A group with attitude.
Right.
Why not call Terry?
Right.
And he put it together, and along with Jimmy Jam and everybody else, they formed The Time. And I was just there, and they needed somebody to run the rehearsals, run and do errands for them. And Prince said, what's your brother doing?
Right.
Because I used to take care of Prince. Prince would come to our gigs, and we had a door fee. We had an entry fee. And I was just scooting past. He was a VIP to me.
Right.
And this was before he was Prince.
Before he was Prince, right? So that's what I want to ask you. What year was that? And was Prince doing gigs himself as a musician, like how you guys were in After Hours? Was Prince doing the same thing, but just not with you guys?
Prince was in a local group as well. He and Morris and Andre.
And Andre Simone.
Yeah.
What was the name of that group?
Grand Central.
Okay.
Grand Central. They had a couple of different names. We had a couple of different groups in town too, called The Family, Eminem Band of Pleasure, Enterprise Band of Pleasure with Rocky Robbins. Just a lot. There was a lot of music going on in Minneapolis.
Right.
And like I said, Prince and some of the other musicians, they had a little carte blanche with, getting in. So I would let them in.
Right.
And I also, sold beverages.
Right.
Beverages.
So now, was there like an official meeting that said, hey, okay, Morris needs some fly cats behind him as a band? Like how?
That's exactly what happened. It happened at Perkins Restaurant over in South Minneapolis, or right on the border of St. Paul and Minneapolis. Terry, Jelly Bean, I think Jimmy Jam was there. I wasn't at the meeting,
okay,
but I do know that the meeting took place, and Alexander was slated to be the lead singer.
Wow.
And something in the meeting had a change of hearts, and Morris was thrown into the position of being the lead singer.
Now, who?
It would have been a different thing with Alex.
Right. I'm sure. Who orchestrated, like, was that Prince that made the call to say, let's do this for Morris? Was it a collective? Like, was there one person that you guys kind of looked at as like he was the leader to put all that together?
Well, Prince was the mastermind behind it.
Now, what made Prince the mastermind behind it at that point?
The concept of the record.
Okay.
The concept of the record, the production of the record, and illustration and getting the record deal, too.
Right.
Prince was in charge of getting the record deal. So we went along for the ride, but we made the ride roll.
Absolutely. So when that happens, what music does Prince have out that time? Does Prince already have does he have an album out?
Dirty Mind is rolling.
Dirty Mind is rolling. So then
hard.
he has a little bit of clout, for lack of a better word, to start introducing other acts.
Prince at that time, Prince had a lot of clout.
Okay.
Prince was a very unique entity in music scene. He played everything, he produced everything, he engineered everything, and he did good business.
Right.
He did good business. He was making a lot of people a lot of money.
So when then he comes up with this idea to put the time together. Does he already have songs in mind? Does he have stuff recorded that he wants you guys to
always got songs in mind? Yeah, they had a concept, and they brought the concept to us, and us meaning Terry and the orchestrated group.
Right.
And they rehearsed it and put it together and made it come to life. The imagery came from the coolness of what Prince knew of the guys as well.
Right, because it's Prince is cool.
Absolutely.
But the coolness and slickness that the time had is different from Prince, even though they're both cool.
Prince had
a different type of slickness.
Prince had his own pursuit that worked for him.
Right.
You could say our band was a vicarious venture for him. Mm-hmm. He could live through us.
Right.
And we took him on a ride.
So now, the first album, the Times' first album comes out. Ooh. You're not on that album cover?
I'm a roadie.
You're a roadie. So you're part of the overall situation, but you're not actually in the group yet.
I'm not in the group. We start touring. One of the situations that happened, we were in rehearsals, and rehearsals in a dark place called Yazm. That's America. That's America spelled backwards. Not Yazm. Nakarima Club. was a place that we used to be in, but we was in Yazam. It was a community center that this young man owned, this older man owned, and we rehearsed in there. Didn't have any lights or anything. We had lamps all around.
Right.
And there were like plaster mirrors all over the walls. And in the song, it says, somebody bring me a mirror, and I like, just joking with people, like pulling pranks on people. So I pulled the mirror off the wall, and Prince happened to be there that day.
And this was in rehearsal.
Right. And I put it in front of Morris.
So this is the first time that anybody's ever seeing that. You do it as kind of as a joke because of the lyric.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I put it in front of Morris, and Prince laughs, rolls on the floor for about 20 minutes, and he says, "You do that every time."
Crazy.
You do that every time.
So that's where it started.
So we came out and did a showcase, and did it then.
What song was that, Jay?
Shoot.
Do you remember?
The song. All of them got a mirror in it now.
Right. Right. So you do a
cool
showcase.
and all that.
So you do a showcase, and in this showcase, this is the first time for record company execs, or is it just
Steve Fargnoli, Cavallo and Ruffalo?
Right.
Steve has passed now, but we do that, and I also like to dress, in that 60s, 50s style, skinny tie, baggies, fresh
fly.
shirt. You got to smell good too. And we all dress that way. And so I would wrap the cords and put the equipment in the bus and truck and whatever and drive, but I would spend my time with the band for a couple hours after all the shows were done, and hang out with the band, so I became a visual part as them. So
Absolutely.
when they were rolling, I was rolling.
Right.
Rome was there.
Okay.
So it became more and more of a thing that happened constantly. I had a little situation where I was hanging out with a bunch of older, real savvy roadies from like Europe and things that had been on the road for 25, 30 years, and I just couldn't play the game that they wanted to play. I was kind of a hothead back then, and they played these jokes, and I bust them in the jaw.
right?
And Prince said, I don't want you hanging with them anymore. Prince took care of me.
Did he? So that's what I want to talk about too. That relationship that you had with Prince. Hold on, AM Caffeine Morning Show. Jay, who came up with? What time is it?
Prince and Morris. Prince and Morris. Brilliant.
Beyond brilliant.
Brilliant.
AM Caffeine Morning Show. Damn, Jerome is in the house.
Ooh, I gotta have my oatmeal.
Jerome's in the house talking just about the origin of the time.
Brown sugar.
Talking about his importance, his role in the whole time ride.
The importance of it was I was ready when opportunity knocked. That's what I can pass on to everybody.
Be ready.
Be ready. Whatever it is. If it's driving a limo, if it's digging holes in the street, just be ready. Just be ready to do it.
If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready.
Mama say.
AM Caffeine Morning Show. So, Jay, let's talk about this Time's second album, right?
Oh yeah, we had just came off a promotional tour. We had hit up every little corner all around America. We got broke in, and we did some breaking in too.
Literally.
By saying that, we toured with Roger Troutman and Zapp. Man, amazing.
I mean, because that album just, you're talking about, you have 777, you have The Walk, you have Gigolos Get Lonely too.
Mm-hmm. High School.
I mean, that album is insane.
All that stuff.
So now during the touring of that album, so now you're on stage now. You're part of the whole overall look of what's going on.
I got pulled from just being a
roadie
and put in a safer place.
Right,
Safer meaning I wouldn't go to jail.
Right.
Which is always a good thing.
That's better than dying.
Absolutely. So now you're pretty much cemented as far as I would say at this point.
Mm-hmm. Partaking
and participating on
with the choreography.
Right.
And videos. And just being recognized called out during the show. You know, first it was just a little component that I would do. He'd come out and say, "Come out and bring me the mirror." I bring him the mirror. He says, "Do that little dance that nobody can do, Jerome." And I do that, and the crowd would go crazy. And then I'd be dancing on the side of the stage. Next thing you know, Prince like, "You go out there and give him a hand clap," and he's gonna do that stuff out there. So I go out there and partake in all the choreography.
So all this time, so Prince is really seeing the vision and is really, not saying giving you confidence, but he's really that voice that's, hey, Jerome needs to, you need to do a little more.
No, you wouldn't insult me by saying give me confidence, because yes, he did give me confidence. I had a different kind of confidence by being an athlete. But that added to the top of that kind of confidence. That made me cocky.
Right.
You were feeling yourself a little.
So
bit.
how? It seems like you and Prince had a pretty good relationship.
Oh yeah, Prince. I talk stuff about him. I talk real bad about him, but he knows I'm playing because he
knows where it's coming from. The place it's coming from.
I'm where I'm at. I'm sitting here, Doc, and you know me because of him.
Absolutely.
And today, I'll talk to him. He gives me my lectures and gives me praise and tells me that he loves me in his life, and we keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Uh-huh.
Purple Rain comes along. What's this like? What is that? 84?
Yep.
Purple Rain comes along.
In 83, 84, yep.
How was it presented to you that you guys are going to be part of that? How does Prince come to you and say, "Hey, we're about to do this movie"?
Well,
how does that come along?
We were prepared for it all summer. He was like, "We're going to be doing a movie this winter." Okay, yeah, okay, fine, yeah. My check going to be on time Friday.
Right.
As long as my check's on time, we good. Mm-hmm. Okay, now you guys got to attend these acting classes.
And is this coming from Prince?
Yeah, he's running. Prince is running his company.
He's running everything.
Prince is running his company.
Right.
And did a great job at it. He kept us ready.
Okay.
He kept us ready. We got acting classes. We got dance classes. We took dance classes downtown Minneapolis, and we're all in the class. Morris is in his little pimp shoes and his baggies and stuff, trying to do plies and jetés across the room. Jill was there. Susan Moonsey, Brenda was there. That's Vanity 6.
Right.
And Apollonia was there. We were all just engrossed in the class. His band was there, and we were learning. We were getting disciplined to be actors.
It was pretty much, how was the relationship with everybody? So you have all these different, not just personalities, but you have all this talent. Prince is running this stuff. Like, how was everybody's interaction with each other? Everyone cool?
Everybody was individual, but everybody got along. We got along well enough where I don't remember any situations that took place.
You got along well enough to make sure that you got the job done and had this
I was
epic
trying
movie.
to get to Friday because they was on time with the check.
Right.
break bread. Yep.
So, man, Purple Rain comes out. How does that change the time?
It was a whirlwind. We didn't know what we were involved in. I don't think anybody knew how big Purple Rain was going to be either.
Do you think, did Prince know?
I'm sure he probably did. But, he doesn't reveal everything that he's thinking.
Right.
I'm sure at nights he laid in bed thinking or not sleeping and wondering, did I do the right thing? Am I doing the right thing? Because, when you're creative, you always second guess
yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he does that because he's always thinking. Mm-hmm. When we were doing it, I was like, man, this is like doing a big video. We had just did Cool and did After High School. I was like, man, all this is a big video. No, this is a movie. Mm-hmm. And none of us were familiar with Hollywood.
Right.
And movies. All we were introduced to was a video. And everything was rushed. Okay, done. Move here. And that's kind of how it was with the movie. But we got through it. When the movie came out, man, he flew us to Los Angeles. He took care of us. We rented every fancy car at Budget Rent-A-Car. Remember how Budget was?
Yeah. But yeah. All the luxury vehicles.
All luxury, man. I remember renting a 500 SEL.
He was doing it.
And before I got down from Beverly Hills, I got pulled over.
Of course.
Black man driving.
And guess what?
What happened?
The police officer knew me.
Let you go?
He let me go.
Let you go.
Yeah, I was pimping.
That's right. So how did you feel? What was your feeling the first time that you were seeing Purple Rain in its entirety?
I was like, that was pretty good. I still wasn't prepared for what I was involved in. Mm-hmm. I didn't know the magnitude of what it was, because like when I first saw it, it wasn't big then. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the hype, if we would have had the hype and the resources now to tell us what the hype was at that time, mm-hmm. man, I might have been able to do something different.
Right.
But it gradually just grew because we went right on the road.
So right after that, so then you go on the road just the time or with Prince? With Prince.
Because by that time, the band had broken up. By the time we did filming, Terry and Jimmy wasn't in the band anymore.
Okay. AM Caffeine Morning Show. I pumped the brakes. I got to talk about that real quick, dude. AM Caffeine Morning Show. Yo. We don't have enough time, dude. I need at least 2 hours with sitting here with Jerome.
Doc, can I say something real quick?
What?
About this song?
Right.
When I met you 5 years ago, I was like, yeah, let me get your contact. This is the number you gave me. Yeah. And I fell for it. I can't front. I fell for it. I'm like, why this number ain't working?
Did you call it?
I did call it.
A little old white lady answered, huh?
Yeah. I was like,
she said, this is not Morris Day.
And I called Smooth. I'm like, yo, what's Doc's number? And I was like, this the number I got. He's like, bro.
See, for all those that don't know, Young Free is quite a bit
He's younger than
us.
That's funny. AM Caffeine Morning Show. So just before we played that classic song, man, we're talking to Jerome's in the house. So now we're talking about right after Purple Rain, time goes on tour. The band has kind of disbanded a little bit. We don't have the original members. There's no Jimmy Jam. There's no Terry Lewis. So Jerome, tell me, how do you guys fill that void without Jimmy and Terry, original cats, the real, like the part of the lifeline of the time not being there?
Well, Doc, we didn't feel it. The band didn't tour after that. Morris went on to do other things. What happened to Terry and Jimmy? Jimmy and Terry got caught in Mother Nature's wrath. We had a period of time off in the tour that we were on for that second record. And everybody was given the option to do what they wanted to.
Got you.
You could stay on the road in the hotel, or you can fly home, or wherever you want to. Terry and Jimmy chose to do business.
Right.
Again, my brother's extremely talented businessman. They chose to take their money, their own hard-earned money, and go to Atlanta and produce some records. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal happened. A 2-inch ice storm. Mm-hmm. They couldn't get out of Atlanta.
Wow.
To get back to a show in Dallas.
What?
The production company, Prince, tried everything. Because we were getting ready to play to a sold out show. We had been selling out venues for over a year and a half, killing them. Zap Band, Vanity 6, our band, and Prince. That was a lineup. That was a blowout lineup. So we're down there, and they can't make it. And, just frantic all day. I don't know the details of it, but I know that they tried
to get out and
They tried to get him out with private jets and everything.
And nothing was happening.
And they couldn't get him out. So they missed the show. So we had musicians from Prince's band sit in. Prince sat in behind stage, and I strapped on the bass, and I don't play.
You don't play. So needless to say, the bass wasn't plugged in.
I ain't gonna say that. It might have been plugged in and plugged the note.
Right.
I know when I hit the string, the whole chord, whole bass line came out.
Wow.
And performed.
And you performed.
We got through it.
Right.
And we completed that tour. That caused a array of things. Prince decided to let Terry and Jimmy pursue
go do their own thing.
Do their own thing with. I'm sure we all were remorseful of them leaving.
No question.
And their first time out the box,
man,
they went up against Prince.
And what happened?
They won. Well, let me retract that and rephrase that. They went up against Prince and a number of big artists and won the first time out the box.
Wow. Shout out to Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Hey, big brother.
Two of
Man.
my favorite duos of all time, and
you know
my list goes to Quincy Jones and Rod Temperton.
Yeah, they're heroes.
Babyface and
you know
got LA and Babyface.
You know they got a number one hit now, right?
That Janet.
With the Janet.
Jackson.
No sleep.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jimmy and Terry, man.